The IRS sending a reminder this week that all Americans selling goods and services through sites like Venmo, PayPal will now have to report transactions of at least $600. Before this year, the threshold for filing a form for a 1099-K report was $20,000. But Congress slashed the limit as part of the American Rescue Plan. Now lawmakers have introduced bipartisan legislation to reverse the change. Here to react to Americans for Tax Reform, Grover Norquist. Grover, what's the significance of this? I'm seeing a lot, but you're the expert.
This is a massive increase in the paperwork for all Americans. If you use eBay or Venmo or Facebook Marketplace or StubHub or PayPal, this is going to affect you. And if you clean out your garage and sell stuff for $1,000, unless you have the receipts for what you originally paid, I mean, you'll lose money on what, you bought all that stuff for much more. You're now selling it secondhand. You get $1,000. Venmo tells the federal government on this 1099-K form, prove what you paid for it. Otherwise, it's all income. You could end up audited. This is a massive, and what are those 87,000 new IRS agents going to do? Going through people's $600 things that they sell or buy in their household. We were promised that the tax bill was only going to go after the super rich, $600. They're targeting you and me and anyone who uses online payment.
So, Grover, think about this. It'd be different if I'm buying something. But let's say on Venmo, I want to give my roommate the rent money so that person could go pay for the rent. So I send over $900. I'm paying rent, but I'm going to get taxed on the rent, the $900 I just sent to my roommate to pay the $1,800 that we owe for rent that month?
It is unclear. The regulations have not. This affects this year's taxes, 2022's taxes. These forms are flying around to the IRS, and if you're not ready to defend yourself, if you don't have all the backup proof that you what you paid and how you did it, you're going to end up paying taxes. You're going to end up being audited because you don't have the paperwork, and this is not next year. This is this year's taxes.
So when you say when they say there's bipartisan motivation to fix this, does that mean they were caught by surprise by this? And then who wasn't caught by surprise by this?
Well, they shouldn't have been caught by surprise because they did this once before under Obama, and he had to retract it. The Democrats in the House and Senate and the Republicans got rid of it because there was so much outrage about it. This year, it hasn't got as much attention. They've waited till the last minute to spring on everybody some of the ugly features of it. However, Carol Miller, of what Congresswoman from West Virginia, is the lead person on something called the Snoop Act. Stop the nosy obsession with online payments. Snoop. It's anti-snooping. And there's a lot of support there. If you talk to your congressman, tell them they should vote for the Snoop Act.
Wow. Grover Norquist staying all over this, so we appreciate it. Hopefully there'll be a remedy. The American Drowning Act, it should be called.